had a recording going on. Is it recording now? Yeah, it's recording now. All right. Hey friends, I'm back. It's been a while since I made my last video. I think it's almost been a month, 2 months maybe. It's been quite a while. And life just got in the way, man, I guess. I was busy with a couple of weeks of military reservists and been busy writing my ebook or trying to write my ebook. So it hasn't been moving super at a pace that I would like. I've been trying to do a bunch of stuff. I tried to start working out again, and then I did a deadlift that I don't think it injured my back, but it kind of felt a little weird, and so I started doing that, and then I stopped because I don't want to risk it. And yeah, here I am, and I feel like it's been a while since I made my last YouTube video. It's been so long that I don't feel like I remember how to use my camera. I don't know if my settings are correct. I don't know if this is gonna sound alright. But hey, we're back, and I'm gonna start trying to do this regularly again as before. I remember one of the things that was bothering me the last time I was doing this was I kind of started to feel like I had said most of the things that I have to say, which I know is not true, but it felt like it, right? It felt like I've been repeating myself a lot. And one of the things that I do know to be true from writing my word vomits is that you just kind of have to repeat yourself over and over again until it clicks, right? Until you or just always, just forever, right? If you think about, I think the kind of anecdote that's coming to mind is it's like, why do people go to church every week, right? And why don't you just read the Bible once and then you're done, and then you live your life as a virtuous person, right? It's because you have to, even in the best possible sense, you want the repetition to continually kind of reintroduce the ideas to your mind. You have to tend to your garden, right? You have to you can't do it once and be done with it. It has to be an ongoing, repetitive process. So here we are. We're like 2 minutes into this video. I do want to start trying to be more disciplined about keeping my videos shorter, which means doing a little bit more planning. That's another thing that was bothering me. I think I felt like so when I first started making these videos, I wanted to do ad libs, meaning just turn on the camera and start talking, which is what I'm doing now as well. But it started to occur to me that if I wanted to make more substantial videos with kind of more intense, is intense the right word? Kind of more in-depth perspectives, arguments, whatever, I would have to do more preparation. I would have to plan my content more, and a part of me kind of didn't really want to do that. It felt like more of a time investment, but done is better than perfect, right? And so I would like to get into the habit again of making things for just to get into the swing and the habit of making things and shipping videos. And it's funny because another one of the things that happened is I have this camera now, which is better quality, and these higher quality videos, they take up more space on my camera, on my computer, my hard drive, right? So the number of videos that you can have in HD on your computer is significantly less than if you recorded them on your webcam. But I didn't feel like I felt like I didn't want to go back in video quality, but I also didn't feel entirely comfortable working with this new medium, this new HD video thing. And so I just felt conflicted, and I've been feeling kind of tired and overwhelmed in general, right? I've been bored, frustrated. I think the main thing in my life really is that I have been procrastinating on my second ebook, which is called Introspect. And there's this delicious irony to it, because a big part of what that book is about spending time with yourself, figuring out how you feel about things, and articulating how you feel about things so that you have clarity that informs your actions. And it is very funny that I have a bunch of introspection to do about why my ebook about introspection is not done yet, right? I've had more than enough time to write the stuff, and I have written and rewritten the book like 5 or 6 times at this point. There's tons of material, it's all over the place, and it's really, when I really dig into it, it's some of it is perfectionism, which really you can always kind of strip away. And when you dig into it, at the heart of it is fear, right? There's some part of me that's afraid that the book will not be good enough by my own standards, or that people are gonna, like, I got pretty lucky in some sense that people liked my first book, and a part of me is scared, like, what if I'm never gonna be, my second book is just not gonna measure up to the first one, right? Which, having said that out loud and having written it down a few times at this point, I'm like, what, so what if my second book is not as good as the first? Like, so what if my first book that I ever did is gonna be the best book I ever do, right? Which is, when you say it reveals itself to be unlikely, right? It's unlikely that the first thing that you do is going to be the best thing that you ever do, because there's things that you learn along the way. But I did, there is also some truth to it, in a sense, which is that the first book was kind of a culmination of things that I've been thinking about for a very long period of time, and I didn't have certain expectations. I didn't have certain, it was kind of, it's kind of a well known phenomena, like I think they call it the sophomore slump, right? Like, your first attempt, no one knows who you are, there are no expectations, you're kind of free to do your best without being self-conscious about it. And I have been kind of self-conscious about my second book, but I think I have been self-conscious long enough that it's starting to bore me, it's starting to annoy me, and I would like to just be done with my second book. And I also, I guess, because I have multiple projects going on at the same time always, so I kind of use my videos as a distraction from my writing. I use my writing as a distraction. I use writing my ebook as a distraction from doing other things, and it's all just kind of, I keep running away from one thing to go to the next, and nothing really, there's no visible progress on any of it. And I'm trying to be careful to say visible progress, because I do feel like all the time I spend thinking about these things, I am working on it in some sense. I do feel it. I do feel like I'm getting a better and better grasp of what I'm working on. I've also been playing more guitar again, which I haven't been recording. Again, this whole recording setup thing, I'm still not super familiar with it and super comfortable with it. But the only way to get more comfortable with it is to just do it. So I'm gonna do it, right? I'm gonna just make my peace with the fact that a bunch of these videos are gonna be not very good by my own standards. And so what, right? That was the original plan. My original plan for 2020 was to make 100 YouTube videos. This is video 81. I think I'm doing pretty good. It's not, not as stratospherically good as I would have kind of fantasized about a possibility. At some part of me was like, maybe at like video 75, I would have, I don't know, lots and lots of followers. I don't want to put a precise number on it, but like, at the same time, if that was objectively true, then it's like, why haven't you done it already, right? So, I mean, anytime you do any work with things that are with unknown variables, right? If any kind of creative work where you don't know how many people are going to receive it, you don't know how many people are going to like it. Like, my ebook has sold about 800 copies-ish. So is that a lot? Depends on your frame of reference. It's 800 more than I sold last year. Last year I didn't sell any ebooks because I hadn't published any ebooks. Some people will say that's a very small number of ebooks to sell. I agree. Some people will say that's not bad, man. That's quite a bit. That's a start, and that's also true, right? And so it's really, I guess, at somewhere along the way I got kind of in a mess, in a muddle about these things, and the only way out of these muddles is to just make stuff. Like, fuck it, just do it. Just do it, see what happens. If people criticize you for it, accept it. Right, one of my first conversation videos was with, my first one I think was with Bobby Scar, and that was pretty well received. And my second or third video was with David Deutsch, who's a bit of a celebrity. And people in the comments continue to tell me to this day that, oh, why are you interrupting that guy so much? Why are you such a poor interviewer? Which is true. I was very anxious and excited to have him, and eager to try to make him feel comfortable, and eager to try to make myself feel comfortable. So I kept I didn't give him as much space to speak as on retrospect I wish I did. But that ship has sailed. That has happened, right? It is what it is, and I'm still alive, right? It's not that big a deal to do things and screw them up. Like, as long as there's no catastrophic failure involving people losing their lives or otherwise being, like bad things happening. Like, shipping, if I shipped a book and it got like 1-star reviews and nobody liked it, that's fine. I'll do another one. Like, that was the case with my early blogging. Like, when I was blogging back in 2010. Wow. Yeah, I used to write blog posts. People would hate them and tell me that they hated them in the comments, and it was almost refreshing in a sense, because when you know what are the negative things that people say or do or think, like, then you can address those things, right? And yeah, so I'm just gonna post this. It's 11 minutes. I kind of want to get it to 15. Any last words? Yeah, so I guess this is just me reminding myself and reminding you, maybe if it's relevant to you, that sometimes you just gotta do stuff and be okay with it not being great. And I know there's like counter arguments and counter arguments and lots of ways of framing it, but like, as long as you're doing stuff, I think it's alright. And if it's not alright, then you can make it alright subsequently. We'll see, man. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I think I'm gonna stop this one here, and maybe I'll make another one after this on one of my talking points from one of my talking points list. Alright, we'll see. Done. Thanks for hanging out.